How much do you know about alternative medicine? Who pioneered the use of digitalis and nitroglycerin in medicine? Answer: homeopathic and eclectic doctors originated the use of digitalis. They also first used nitroglycerin for heart conditions and used it for 30 years before it was accepted by conventional medicine. Who was the first female surgeon in America? Answer: Mary Harris Thompson, a homeopathic doctor. She also founded Chicago Hospital for Women and Children, later renamed Mary Thompson Hospital. How much are doctors influenced by drug companies to prescribe their products? In 1998, the drug industry spent $5.3 billion sending sales reps to doctors' offices and hospitals, and another billion on marketing events. There is one drug rep and $100,000 spent for every 11 doctors in the U.S. Who invented the stethoscope? Dr. René Laennec, an acupuncturist. Who developed the PET scan and the algorithms for the functional magnetic resonance imaging? Dr. Zhang He Cho, an acupuncturist. Who developed the beeper pocket paging device for doctors? Answer: Dr. Thomas Wing, an acupuncturist and chiropractor. Who performed the world's first cornea transplant? Dr. Royal Copeland, a homeopathic doctor. Who was the first woman physician to an American president? Answer: Susan Edson, M.D., a homeopathic doctor. There is only one statue in Washington, D.C. honoring a physician. Who is it? Answer: Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, founder of homeopathic medicine. According to the American Medical Association, what are your chances of having your illness incorrectly diagnosed in a hospital? Answer: slightly more than 1 in 2. Which procedure did the American Medical Association refuse to endorse for over 20 years? Answer: the Heimlich maneuver. Which product touted by naturopathic doctors was derided as quackery by the regular medical establishment in the early days? Answer: whole wheat bread. What factor did the AMA say plays no appreciable role in health and disease until 1987? Diet. Which drug for cancer was found by the National Cancer Institute to be effective but is not recommended? The Hoxsey formula, a compound of naturopathic herbal extracts that the American Medical Association tried unsuccessfully to control in the 1950s. Which piece of medical equipment formerly found in naturopathic clinics is now in many private homes? Answer: the hot tub. What percentage of the time does high cholesterol coincide with heart attack? Less than 50%. More than 50% of heart attack victims have normal cholesterol readings. Other factors include general inflammation, diabetes, high blood pressure, and smoking. Almost 20% of people with heart attacks have no risk factors at all. What procedure reduces the need for institutionalized care for stroke patients by half and saves $26,000 per patient? Acupuncture. If applied within 24 hours, there's a chance of 95% recovery. 24 hours later, it drops to 90%, and at 72 hours, 80%. Where were the first diagnostic X-rays made in 1896? Answer: Denver Homeopathic Hospital. Why did Harvard University oppose the state legislature granting a charter to Boston University School of Medicine? It was a homeopathic medical college. Boston University itself was founded in 1867 initially as the New England Homeopathic Medical College. Dr. Bob Smith, co-founder of Alcoholics Anonymous, helped establish the famous 12-step program. What method enabled him to overcome his addiction before the creation of AA? He was treated and cured by a homeopathic physician in his town whom he scoffed at for being a homeopath. Dr. Smith's successful recovery was downplayed by Bill Wilson, who stood at the helm of AA for many years after Dr. Bob's passing. His mother was an osteopathic doctor who disliked homeopaths. From 1962 to 1988, there was a 30% increase in addiction to illegal drugs from Colombia. During the same time period, what other source of drug addiction was higher? Answer: legal prescription drugs in America, a 300% increase, 10 times higher than the addiction rate from illicit drugs. When did the American Medical Association officially recognize the value of vitamins? Answer: June 2002. Who originated the double-blind study, the gold standard for evaluating medicines? It was a group of homeopathic otolaryngologists. What percentage of conventional medical procedures have been tested by double-blind controlled trials and found to be safe and effective? Only 10 to 20%, according to the U.S. government. According to the World Health Organization, what is the most commonly practiced type of medicine in the world? Oriental medicine, including acupuncture. Conventional allopathic medicine ranks 4th. One would think that most people use conventional medical services. What percentage of Americans use so-called alternative medicine? CNN says 1/3 of Americans. Statista says 21%, but they also say 24%. But in the same search, they also say 35%. Most people quote the 38% figure. But in 1998, the National Science Foundation said it was 88%. Are the current sources now adjusting their statistics? In Germany, the home of hard science, what percentage of medical doctors prescribe natural medicines? 56%. Prozac is the best-selling antidepressant drug in the U.S. What drug outsells it in Germany? An herbal medicine outsells Prozac by 25 to 1, St. John's wort. The typical lifespan of a coronary bypass operation is 5 years. What is the common side effect of the surgery that has nothing to do with the heart? Answer: 42% of bypass patients experience a decline in intellectual abilities. Warfarin is a prescription drug used to prevent blood clots. What is its other use? Answer: rat poison. Are doctors who conduct drug trials objective and independent of the companies producing the drugs? The New England Journal of Medicine published a survey of this issue in 1999 and found that 3% of authors of a published study revealed financial ties to the drug under study, but 96% should have. Does this mean that when drug companies pay for the studies, the results are favorable? One analysis showed that 3/4 of research results were favorable to the products when drug companies paid for the tests, but only 1/4 were favorable when conducted by independent researchers. The Journal of the American Medical Association concluded that 98% of studies with drug industry funding were positive, while only 79% of those without drug company funding were favorable. How accurate are the standard hospital diagnostic tests? A nationwide 32-hospital study compared 1,800 clinical diagnoses made on living patients to anatomical diagnoses made at autopsy. They found the error rate was nearly 20%. About half of those mistakes are thought to have led to death. The highest price ever paid for a work of art is $82.5 million. For what painting was this price paid? Portrait of Dr. Gachet. What are 36% of all hospital admissions for? Treatment for side effects of previous medical treatment. 1.5 million people per year. What is the actual leading cause of death in the United States? The answer is conventional medical treatment. 783,936 deaths from adverse drug reactions, unnecessary procedures, medication and other hospital errors, and hospital-acquired infections. Death from heart disease is second at 699,000. Death from cancer is third at 553,000. Reactions to properly taken prescription drugs is itself the fourth leading cause of death. In addition, 1.5 million people per year require hospitalization for treatment of side effects. However, recent statistics mark medical treatment as the third leading cause of death, because now death certificates rely on assigning an International Classification of Disease, ICD code, to the cause. Human and system errors have no ICD codes and are therefore not represented. The requirement of a disease code means the deceased will appear to have died from the disease rather than from medicine. So the 2003 figures are likely more accurate, and medical treatment is a more common cause of death. Did you know as much as you thought you knew? Didn't think so. The American Naturopathic Association.